sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so
Nice, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Yes, sir, it's fine.
Albert Einstein once said, everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come, no more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it. Proceed. Exhibit A. Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A. A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robots zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with two or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one size fits all crap. Watch your language. Sorry, Your Honor. But if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results would be tragic. So many people would get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens. This educational malpractice. where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees. Objection. Overruled. I want to hear this. It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid. No wonder so many students are short-changed. Let's be honest. Teachers should earn just as much as doctors because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid, but a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life, just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. That's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages,
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm checking.
then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade it, change it, do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more common core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days. Teachers make a decent wage. Homework is non existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls, their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy, there is no single solution. But let's get moving. Because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams. And there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe. A world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I'll rest my case.
Yeah, I did, but I missed a couple of the initial parts. So could you please send me the video? I would just love to watch it once again. Are you going offline? Sir, give me only 2 minutes. I'll be back. Give me only 2 minutes.
Sir, I'm able to understand only few parts of the video.
Kanshu, your voice is breaking. Could you be nearer to your audio system? Could
Sir,
you
that
come
I
closer
can
to
hear.
your audio system?
Sir, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sir, I can understood the few parts of the video. I'm
I
not
could
able to.
understand. I could understand only few parts, or I could understand the first half, or the second half, or the mid part. So I could understand. And I would suggest you to please note down the corrections that we are making, so that we don't commit the same mistake again.
Sir, sir, I have written few points that I missed.
Yes, sir.
No, sir. I have to write. I was just carefully listening to the video.
I would like to. I would like to say something. Hardik, what happens many a times, we don't fail. We fail not because we are not prepared, but we fail because we are overconfident. Now, one of the major reasons of failures is not that we are not prepared. It's just because we are overconfident. So when you're listening to something, say such a long speech, you may tend to forget a couple of catch words or catch lines. So always have a pen and paper with you while you're listening to any documentary or any movie or any video, so that you could note down the punch lines or the punch quotes. No issues, but it's a suggestion. So who's going?
I have my pen paper, sir. Thing is that I have not written.
Ah,
Sir, may I? Sir, may I? Sir, sir, firstly, the thing is that schools were created during the Industrial Revolution to turn children into factory workers, which is basically have them follow a standardized routines. The times have changed. We do not need workers anymore. We need thinkers, but our schools haven't. What I mean to say here is that school is standardized for everybody. Not everyone can be good at maths or be good at English, but like everybody has some talent in them. And the thing is, schools prioritize some talents way more than other ones. So every it should be a bit more personalized for everybody. Also, another thing is that schools haven't changed with the times. Like as mentioned in the video, from uh, from the previous century and a half, schools have basically remained the same, and the best school systems are the ones which did change. So, like we should also have our school systems be the ones to change things like less homework, and another important thing is to pay the teachers comfortably, because like teachers are the ones who are teaching. Most teachers do love their jobs, but like won't really put all your effort into your job if you're getting underpaid for it. So like having teachers paid well would probably benefit the school system and the quality of the education system. And also that school pits us against one another, like it's competitive, not collaborative. So like we should have more group projects and working together and learn actual real life practical skills like leadership or team management rather than just rote learning.
Uh, does anyone have any question for Parth? Does anyone have any question for Parth? Rishabh, unmute yourself. Means I may ask a question to everyone, but I don't really want to ask is because I want this session to be completely your session, right? So I would not definitely like to poach in. I would request you to please open up your mind and try and figure out the probable questions that you could make out of each other's conversation. Even if that question is not related to the video that we've just gone through, you may ask any question that is cropping in your mind. Parth, until they think for a question, I would like to ask you something. You
Yes,
just
sir.
said that the teachers should be paid well, the teachers are well versed with their subjects. Uh, I would like your, I would like to draw your attention towards certain things that are called out of the school or out of the college coaching that these great teachers impart. Don't
Yes, so
Do you
that's true.
really think that that is an area that is actually distracting all the teachers from delivering quality in their schools or in their colleges?
Also, the real,
So
the
they're not teaching well at schools because they want the students to come to their coaching and there they are taught by the same teacher in an excellent manner.
reason most teachers do this extra hour classes is because, like, for financial gain. Like, they will teach badly in school, so the students come to the coaching or tuitions, and they will make money of that. Like, if the schools paid the teachers well enough in the first place, they would have no need to have these extra classes and put their attention in the actual
So you mean
classes
to
with
say
neatly.
any amount of money could be enough for anyone?
No, sir. Like, of course not. Everybody has a different needs.
So in case if I say that today teachers are getting 50,000 bucks a month, right? And the teacher
Yes, sir.
starts getting 1 lakh rupee a month. So they would leave their tuition and coaching?
Yes, sir. Some of them will. Some of them will still
No.
continue it. Like it's a different set point for everybody. At what point do they consider their payment enough to not run any extra tuitions or
And in
coachings?
that case, Ambani shouldn't have worked.
I mean, that is true, but like to each their own.
Ambani has money that we cannot even count.
Yes, sir, but he still likes to work. Like he
Forget
would
about
like to
counting.
increase the.
We would not even understand how many zeros to be put after the one digit in the first place.
So he would still like to make more money, so like he's continuing on his work.
Everyone wants to. I would just like to drag your attention towards one thing, that don't you think that this is one section that is actually letting even the brightest teacher to degrade their quality in the schools and colleges, so that the students could reach out to them in their private coachings or tuitions?
Yes, sir, that is true. Also, another thing is that school management, like, except increasing the payments, would be to implement that none of the teachers can have their own private tuitions. Like, my school recently did this. So the teachers are like forced to actually teach in the school and not just have the side tuitions running up.
Okay, means does anyone have any question for Parth?
Uh, yes, my school recently made it so none of the teachers in the school could could run tuitions where they get students from the school.
How would they ensure this? How would they ensure this?
Also,
Means
like if
your principal
sir,
would
like
not
I
visit
believe like
every tuition center to see whether their teachers are teaching their own students or
so
not.
it's not like they are going to the test tuition centers. It's like if any child says to the management that this teacher is running to the school, action will be taken.
Yes, sir.
Also, like actually, like that is a very good situation. But uh, so firstly, the real reason the teachers in my school had a side tuition running wasn't that they wanted to teach the students really good. It's that they would get bits of the exam papers out, so the students would be incentivized to come to the tuitions and hence for financial gain. And for the question you asked, that was what will I do as a teacher? Probably something like since we have 5 days of 8 hours each, that is 40 hours. It would be better off to like split those days into like 6 days a week instead of five, and have 6 hours per day. Because like we have 5 days of school, then we go to 2 days weekend, and then Monday again. Like that Monday at the start of the week hits like a wall. Like you were used to relaxing, and then you just have to go back to the usual routine. So it would be better off if it was a bit more continuous. So like it was a bit more of a routine style. And so the classes which were held on Saturdays should not be following like any curricular syllabus. Like in those classes, teachers could.
No, sir.
Sir, to sir, to be honest,
Uh, Pranshu, do you want to ask anything? You've raised your
No, sir.
hands. You've
Sir,
raised your hands.
sir, I will tell that we can put some doubt sessions on Saturday or Sunday instead of having a regular class.
Rishabh, I believe the questions that we are posing before these guys are more of related to the school management. I believe even the school management is helpless. Is because in case if they are affiliated to CBSE or ICSE, they have to follow their norms. If they don't follow their norms, if they don't follow their lead norms, as it was rightly said in the clipping, that most of the policy makers have themselves not attended any classes, have themselves never been a teacher, and they would not really understand what a teacher goes through or what a student goes through. They actually want to implement their own experiences that they had during their school timings, right? So this is one key point that all of us really have to take forward, that the policy makers who have actually framed these policies have themselves never realized all these problems. They are still stuck with that orthodox mentality where they were attending a school of 6 days a week. So now even the children of today's era also have to attend the school for 6 days a week. They are actually dispelling the notion that today the technology has arrived. Everything is possible with technology that earlier was not there when we were there at school. So a lot of things could be done even by keeping the child at home, and that is actually visible during the Corona times. Students studied, student performed. Yes, 5% people will always have a problem with everything. Plus, Rishabh, I would also like to mention that I'm personally not against these 8 hours of school. Let me give you my reason why. Because once you get into a career, whichever career you want to get into, once you're in army, you're in navy, you're in air force, you're an IT professional, you're a chartered accountant or whatever, you at least will have to work for 8 to 9 hours in the field. So if you have not practiced enough, being disciplined for 8 hours or 9 hours a day, it will be really tough, because once you get into a habit of living a lifestyle of your own, it really becomes difficult to adjust yourself or to adapt yourself in an environment where you're required to work for 8 or 9 or 10 hours continuously at a stretch. Are you getting me? For example, if I'm taking all the classes online, sitting at home, relaxing, having a cup of tea on my own, and having my lunch and dinner every time, I would not really be comfortable when I'm being offered an offline class. I would not. I would not love going out in the scorching sun to actually teach children. So I am personally not against these 8 hours. However, I am definitely with you. How these 8 hours should be utilized? Yeah. Any next speaker? He is actually going to catch the dragon at the top of the castle.
So I just understand from the video that the teachers say, like the lawyers say, the judge, the law. I understand from the video. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. I understood from this video that the lawyers say to the judge that the teacher or like the new like new generation and the old generation like both are same from now to onward, but the teacher have to pay mainly of the like consequences and the facilities maybe like more and more, but there are the children's like more like subject like maths or something like my favorite subject like is like maths something like that, but many children do not like, but we have forced to do many of them, and like some subject that like doubt the class and all. So this is the I reason like this is the like point I feel about this.
So Harshita, if I may ask you, personally, you tell me your personal opinion. What all other
Yes, sir.
subjects, according to you, should not really be taught at schools?
So like computers, sir, and
Computers should not be taught at schools.
no, sir, like not very much. Like I know, sir, practical it's done in a school, but not that much. Like not that
Why?
much. So,
Any reasons?
sir, it's only like 1 hour time, 1 hour do everything, and like teacher is saying like that in the board, like doing this and doing this. They have no system control, not tell in my school, like
No
very
one
much.
says. No one says.
Yes, sir. Not explained very much in the school, like computer subject. Not very much explained in my way. I would like to say that
So you
not
don't
very
want
much.
enough of technology to be taught at school level.
Yes, sir. Like too much, not like I know, but it's taught in the school, but not too much.
What is too much?
Yes, sir.
What is what is too much? Means what is the borderline?
Sir,
What
too much.
knowledge? What amount of knowledge do you believe is too much and less?
That the knowledge I got that I understand is for me that it's too much. But when I don't understand, I get like less and less power to do everything. That's like this less for me.
Don't you think perhaps you're not able to understand as much as your peer because of the fact that you're not interested in the subject?
No, sir, I really
Maybe you
have
are lacking that attention
no,
that
sir.
you must have.
No, sir, I got very good marks in computer, but I don't understand. Like I understand for some reasons my teachers not tell me like more and more. He says like that the time too much less, so you have to understand like this and this, and he's not answer my questions. Like some questions, not that much, but some questions is not answered. It's like time is so much like
So he
lost.
doesn't explain you the things, right?
So not that, but like not in a very proper way.
Okay, he doesn't explains you the things in a proper way, so you lose your interest in the subject.
Yes, sir.
Had the explanation been clear, then all those technologies would have been okay.
Yes, sir. Maybe
So there
yes.
is the lacking is because the teachers do not really the most important reasons we all have to understand that we are not encouraged to ask questions in the class.
Yes, sir.
Right from the
Yes.
beginning, right from the childhood, we are actually discouraged. They take it as an ego. How could a child ask me a question that perhaps I am not very good at? They don't take it as a challenge that, okay, if a child is asking so much, that means that child has gone in depth of the subject. If a child is asking a question, that does not mean that he is asking from haywire. He is actually asking because he has gone through the topic in depth, and therefore he has, come up with some questions that perhaps I never thought of. So don't you think this is one of the reasons why we are not developing as a kid? We have actually become a rote learner.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are not encouraged, as Rishabh was asking all of you to ask questions. We were blank as to what to ask. because we have never come into a habit of asking questions. We have never come into a habit of making a mole out of a mountain. We don't want to know the reason. We only want to know the right answers. We only, and it is our fault as well. We only want to know the right answer. We only want to pass exams. We only want to get good grades, and that's it. Our education system has become all about grades. Somebody who has scored 90% is a great child. Somebody who has scored 50% is not as great child as a 90% student. So we have actually become a grade centric society. And this is because people do not become innovative because they are not allowed to ask questions in the class. And if a child asks a question in the class that a teacher perhaps is not very good at, he is asked either to go out of the class or to stand on the bench, and therefore he is discouraged to ask questions the next time. I have a question. I have a question. एक question. Harshita, if you were the teacher, how would you teach?
Yes, sir. If
So no one
I
is raising hands that they have a question. I have to keep her speak. I have to make her speak. Okay, so before you answer my question, take it from Parth.
Uh, Harshita, Harshita, you mentioned that you do not really like computer and should not be taught in school. Don't you think if computer was taught more, then we could use the technological knowledge we use to make our lives more convenient in terms of learning in other subjects?
see, like I'm not say that I don't like computer. I say but the teacher.
I am
Yeah,
saying, I don't say, I am saying.
yes, I'm saying that the teacher not like teaches us like in a proper way. When I was stand up to like answer for some questions, he said that we have this time sit down, and if he's not answer like he's not answering my questions what I have said, and
He did not answer my question. He did not answer my question.
he did not answer my question. But I love computer, but I did not like understand in a very proper way. My school teachers not teaches me in a proper way. I know technology is very important. IT is very important for our life, but I didn't
Our
understand.
lives, not life, our lives.
Yes, sir, our lives. Yes, sir. So
So,
this is the most variable reasons for my question.
wouldn't that have to do more with the teacher not giving proper attention rather than that subject not being taught in school?
Partha does not give, does not pay attention.
Does not pay proper attention rather than having the subject removed from the curriculum or having it be taught less.
If you ask that in computer, and especially I have said my opinion that in my subject I don't prefer like I like computer but not that much. So I would say like the teacher is not teaches us in a very proper way. I know it's very important, but I don't like it. That the teacher is not teaching us in a very proper.
Just a minute. Uh, Manya and Pranshu, if you did not understand what the
Yes, sir.
video meant, right? Ask questions to them. What did you not understand in the video? Which part of the videos did you not understand? What did he say that you did not understand? What was the motto that you did not understand? Ask them the questions.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I
They are
want to
your
see the
teachers for today.
sir, I want to see the video. The sound was not clear.
Manya, Manya, could I
Yes.
please see the video?
Yes, sir. Could I please see the video?
No, right now, as much as you can retain out of that video, as much as you can, recall out of the video that you watched, that you went through.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sir, am I visible? Sir, am I visible now?
No, you've become Mr. India, who is there but not visible.
One second, sir.
I'll do it. I'll do one thing. Hardik, first you tell both of them what did you get from the video and what the video was all about. Then Parth will describe what he understood, and then Harshita would describe what did she understand.
Sir, basically, I have understood from the video that
No, no,
our
no. Say all the things to Manya and Pranshu. Address Manya and Pranshu.
so Manya and Pranshu have basically understood from the video that our education system is now totally based on technology. Every student has some kind of potential, but the thing is that they are not utilizing. Uh, they are
They are not
not.
given the right basics.
Yes, sir. Some are good in studies and some are good in playing. Not that
Good
the
in
whole
good
student
at, good at.
good at.
Some are good at studies, some are good at sports, some are good at logical abilities. So good at.
Yes. So some are good at logical abilities, some are good at playing, some are good at studying. So as you know that there are different kind of teachers in schools. Some some they really want to encourage student that they should ask questions to, to him or her. But the thing is that as sir has said that we have
As
been
sir said,
discussed as per said that we have been discouraged from our childhood uh, that we are not in the habit of asking questions. So some teachers in the school they really want to ask from their students that they should ask the questions, whereas some teachers they only want to complete their jobs, and as well as earn money. So according to our education system, I think that school system has become a little boring. You can say like all the time we have to study only, and have no
only
time.
study, study, and study.
Yes, and we have no time to refresh our mind and utilize our mind in any extracurricular activities. So, uh, if I were the teacher, I should um, change this system of education into a practical learning.
If I, Hardik say, if I were a teacher, I would do, and so. I would, if I were a teacher, I would.
I would, if I were the teacher, I I would have changed the system of
I
education
would
in
change. I would have. I would change.
I would change the system of education into practical teaching, especially for the science subject, because practical teaching is more required in science subject than any other rest of the subjects. So I think that for all the three science subjects, as the school has all, as the school has 8 hours of teachings. So for in which in the period which we have science, for half an hour we have to study theory, and for the rest half an hour they should teach us they should teach us through practically, like in bio like in biology. If you are studying about the plant, then they should bring the plants and teach them according to the chapter, and, and like that in physics and chemistry. So I think that I can change the system of teaching like this.
Hardik, any questions, Manya and Pranshu?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead. So raise your
And that
hands if you have a question. Don't wait for my, interruption. Okay, there are two more speakers to make her understand.
Thank you, sir.
No, Pranshu has a question for Hardik. Pranshu has a question for Hardik.
Yes, Pransh.
so that if what kind of practical.
You have to address Hardik.
Yes, Pransh.
Yes, that what kind of practical do we think?
What kind of practical?
Yes, like a half an hour theory. Then why don't half an hour only practical, not a question answer session or some doubt session?
No, I think the teacher should give us the question answer as the homework. Okay. For school, for half an hour, as I have told that, or they should have to come as they have to complete the syllabus. So as I had mentioned, they have
As
to
I mentioned, not had, as I mentioned.
as I mentioned, they have to complete the syllabus as well. So for half an hour, uh, the way the students are behaving in the class, they should have to teach like that, the theory. And as I've told, the for next half an hour, the practical teaching, like taking them to the science lab and showing on the blackboard, and the students should write them and understand what is there in the chapter. Yes.
Yeah, forget about the video. Ask the questions on the basis what they are saying. Forget about the video. Ask them the questions basis what they are explaining you.
So firstly, so firstly, it was a video about about the criticism of our current school systems. It was done as, I believe, a rhyme or a rap. I don't know which would be more suitable in this case, and in the form of a court scene. Like, you can't actually sue the school system, and nobody actually sued the school system. It is not an entity you can actually sue. It was just as an analogy for what actually is happening. We begin the video of with a goldfish, and the guy explaining that how the goldfish represents the students. It's like if you ask a goldfish to climb a tree, it would obviously never do that. And the same case is for a insect to swim. And a fly can fly, but it cannot swim. So like each one of the students are different and have their own personal needs, which the school system does not meet. It is so because the school system was designed over centuries ago and still hasn't changed in all those years. Like we had examples of phones and cars which changed over the years, but not our school systems. It was made in the and it was pointed out that it was made in the during the Industrial Revolution to make students into obedient workers. But now we need free thinkers and not workers. But our school system still haven't changed with that. Still hasn't changed with that. And example of example and couple of examples to know that our school system should be changed for the better, and what we currently have is not the best thing. It would be that countries like Singapore and Finland, who did change these systems, have far better performing students than the countries which did not. Along with the quote from a Frederick J. I don't remember his complete name, that the person who invented the standardized testing, saying that standardized tests are too crude and are not fit to be used. And lastly, we end the video of with that all students are different and each one have their needs, and the school system prioritizes some of the talents of the students a lot more than the others. For example, memorization power is far more preferred than logical reasoning or communication skills. Any questions?
Parth, I didn't understand the last what you have said at last.
Like our school system prefers prioritizes some talents over the others. Like students who can memorize really well, learn all whatever they are taught, and then score in exams are preferred over the ones who have abilities of logical reasoning, and also the ones who have good communication skills like teamwork and management and things along those lines.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, and I've also written few points after seeing the video. So as I wrote that uh, nothing has changed in the education system. First point. The second, all students have different abilities. All school need to change their school script and start using technology. All students are future of our country. And and one more point, that all all students are not forced to do the similar work because they have their own abilities to work upon. So just a moment. Just
Where did Harshita go?
Sir, only one left.
Ah, yes, I'm done.
So just 2 minutes. तो टाइम लग रहा है.
So, firstly, it is too standardized. Not everybody is good at learning every subject. Not everybody has to learn every subject. So, it should be a bit more personalized for the students. Like, instead of sorting students by their age, you should sort them by their skill levels and interests. Like, instead of having 14-year-olds in one class and 15-year-olds in another, it's like people who have a similar level in math should be together regardless of their age, and people who have a similar level in English should be together regardless of their age. So like it is a bit more suitable. The classes are attending is more suitable for them from what we currently have. And then the thing is, not everybody gets enough opportunities. Like the academy people who are good in academics, that is like the people who are good at writing or at maths, get a lot of opportunities to represent the talents. But people like who are good at tennis or some niche sports, they do not get enough opportunities to the point they can really shine and develop their skills. Another like my next point is continued on this is that different skills are valued differently. A teacher will way more biased to somebody who is good at communication rather than somebody who is, let's say, does not speak in class but is good, like equally as good in studies or intelligence. And next point would be that teachers aren't paid enough. Like we discussed this earlier, like all they have to run side tuitions. Some of them have good intentions of genuinely helping the kids out, but most of them it is so to like make extra financial gains from this make extra financial gains. So like and so like they have to devote their time and resources to different places. If schools paid them enough in the first place, this would not be the case. And lastly, my fifth point is that school is a very long, like 8 hours a day. That is one third of your day. That is all. That is like a lot. Like something like 6 or 5 hours, or even four would be way more suitable. So that was all.
No, Rishabh. No, no, no. Because we don't really have time, so I don't want to stretch.
yes, sir. So, so first point, the teacher must allow the student to ask the question and not make fun of student when they ask any wrong questions. And next point is, uh, uh, so there should be more practical than theory. And if we are explaining any topic, we should explain with an example or an practical in a practical way. And as we have 8 periods per day, so uh, every periods of in a day should be reduced. Like we can have only 4 periods in a day, and the topic is so that we can understood the topic or a chapter very clearly. There should be one or there should be 1 or 2 hour classes on life skills in per week. So that must have.
No, sir. Can I speak now? So the problems which I face in the school regarding teaching are the firstly as base at base at school regarding teaching is that first, as Pranshu has mentioned, that the teachers are discouraging their students not to ask questions from them. And the second thing is that if the teacher is engaged in some kind of work, they just come to the class and teach fast the chapter which I could not understand. And there are also some kind of teachers in the school who teach nicely but very softly. That also I'm not able to understand. So if I were sir, I mean to say that they have soft voice, which which does not, which do not reach to our ears. Yes, sir. If if I were if I am in the education industry, then as I have said, I would change this old type of teaching into practical learning. I should ask the administration to see that the students are enjoying this practical learning or not. Uh, uh, and and the second thing is that I would ask the administration to reduce the syllabus theory, because too much of studying, I think it's too boring for all the students. They should have to take out the time for other curricular activities. So that is it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, so first point, we only get 40 to 50, 40 to 45 minutes for each and every subject, and as the time period is very short, we don't get time to ask questions and our doubts. So, sir, according to me, the solution is the teacher should go through each and every topic very carefully and um, go deep in the topic so students will not get much doubt. Sir, second. So second, the teachers only so most of the teachers only taught us about the subjects and the chapter, not about yes, teachers about yes. So most of the teachers teach us only about the subject and the chapters, not much about the life values. So we don't feel more confident. Search solution. They should taught us about values too, which make us feel confident. Third, from beginning, they only teach us that marks are everything. Not every teacher, few teachers only teaches us about that marks are everything. But they should also teach us that marks are not everything, but knowledge is also important and encourage us. Sir, last exam pressure is too much. Exam pressure is too much on the students. They should. Sir, fourth, exam pressure is too much on the students. Solution: we should start learning from the beginning and make and we should make our concept clear from the beginning. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think
Thank you, sir.
Yes, it was good, sir.